Hi everybody, it's Alicia with Expressions by Lish, and today is Thursday, June 25th. And if you're here, welcome. I would love to hear from you. Just give me a chat. We can chat along while we craft today. I'm on just a couple minutes early today because I was afraid I was gonna be late, and then I wasn't late, and you know, all that stuff. So yeah, don't mind me. I just whipped my something behind me. Hi Peggy, how are you? So yeah, as I said, I'm just gonna wait just a couple more seconds because I hopped on early, because you never know. And so how is everybody today? I'm good. I'm good. Oh, Peggy, I'm glad you're fine. So yeah, what's everybody up to today? I haven't done much today. I have been in my craft room, and I did a couple things for this class today, and I made a reel on Instagram, and it's also shared to my Facebook page, and it shows what I do with a pre-stamping guideline for these classes to go, and how I use my stamp positioner to do that. So that will be a good one to watch. Lori's cleaning house. That does not sound like fun, Lori. But that is what I should have been doing before I came up into my craft room. But yeah, no, it's clean enough, right? All right, I'm going to switch cameras, you guys, and let's get started. Today is Bloom Boutique Suite class to go. And what that means is I'm using the full suite. Okay? So in the catalog, on page, let's see, 16 and 17, you will see the Bloom Boutique Suite. This is what I consider a mega suite. This has the DSP, which is gorgeous. It is a specialty DSP. In not all the pieces, but there's like little specks of gold in it. It's really pretty, little gold accents. This uses the In Color Butterflies, which I have been using for everything. That actually does go with this suite. There are 2 stamp and die sets with this suite. So you have the Scallop Blooms and you have the Boutique Blossoms. Now the Scallop Blooms is a awesome die set, and it has a sentiment stamp set with it. And then the Boutique Blossoms is a all flower stamp set with coordinating dies and dies that are outside of the stamp. So like a leaf that's not a stamp, that kind of thing. And then it also comes with these scalloped window boxes, which are super cute. They have a sample right here of one that they made up. Very, very cute. So yeah, page 16 and 17. So because I am using the full suite to do these card classes to go, obviously you can use whatever that you have. If you do not have this set, by all means you could substitute something out, but I will be using the whole suite. So therefore the dies, I'll be using the dies from the Scalloped Blossoms and the Boutique Blossoms. If there's anything outside of these sets, I will include it. Okay, and I just wanted to pull out these dies because hi Debbie, how are you? Good afternoon. These dies are awesome. It goes, every other scallop has I don't know, the little dots that detail. And then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 label dies. You can make the Scallop Blossoms obviously into flowers. So you have the 2 circles here, and then these are the leaves that cut out for your if you want to make these into a flower. And then the sentiment set is really awesome. It is one of those sets that I always say is good if you're starting out because it has a little bit of everything in it. So it has a thank you, it has happy birthday, it has hugs, so like thinking of you, you're a blessing, wishing you a day of relaxation, happiness, and love. Could be birthday, that could be, you know, whichever. And then your kindness means so much. So this is a great I think all occasion stamp set. And then if you got the dies with it, that would be a really good, I think, starter, because you have these and then you have your sentiment labels. And then the Boutique Blossoms, they are a outline stamp and then the filler stamp. And I will be showing both of those today, where you could color with your blends or whichever, or using the ink. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to show the cards that we're going to be using today. I'm good. I have a little cough. I hope I'm not getting sick. Oh geez, Debbie, I hope not. Yeah, allergies could definitely be. Yeah. Ugh. No fun. No fun. Okay, so these are the cards that we are going to be making today. This one. And here we have this one. And then I did make a shaped card with those awesome Scallop Blossom dies. And then this card. These are the 4 cards that we will be making today. So when you spend $50 in my online store through this coming Sunday at midnight Central Daylight Time, you will receive, and you spend like $50 or more before tax and shipping and after rewards, you will receive this card class to go for free as a thank you gift from me. And you would receive emailed PDF instructions, and then you have this video to refer to. Okay, and then I just want to share with you, I know at the beginning I did mention that I made a Instagram reel that is also shared on, I'm sorry for the light reflection that's on here, but how I take the pre-stamping guideline, which is this right here, and then how I stamped it. So that is a good thing to refer to when you're making this class. So it is a nice way to use your positioner, or if you still have the Stamparatus, your Stamparatus, it saves time, and it just is nice to have all this done right away. Okay, but I do want to show how I am going to stamp these 3 images right here using the stamps that come with the stamp set, and how I line them up right on my paper so that I can get, I'm just going to slide this down a little bit so that I can see what I'm doing here, so that I can get them lined up. Okay, so this is what you do. So I have my everything stamped, and then I'm going to place my stamps over the top of my stamped images, trying my best to line them up as best as possible. And then I'm going to pick them up with my plate. I have my magnets on here. Okay, so you just take your plate and put them in the, this is your spring loaded at the top, and then this you push down, that's where the spring comes in. So I'm going to push these down, I'm going to pick them up. And now there is 2 different colors because it's Crisp Cantaloupe and Peaceful Pine. Now obviously this isn't the first card we're making, but I do want to show this right away at the beginning so that I don't forget. So then I'm just going to take my Crisp Cantaloupe and I'm going to ink up my rose just like this. And I can get both of them at one time. So there we have that. And then I'm going to take my Peaceful Pine and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp up my 3 leaves just like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip this over, put them on the pegs, and stamp down, making sure that my paper didn't move, and I don't believe it did. Okay, and I did not have that one. I think my paper may have moved just a little bit, but that's all right. And then I do have this little leaf stamp that goes on here, and because it was too close to the other stamp, I just put this one on a little block, and I'll just ink this up and stamp on the leaf on here. Okay, and then you would take this obviously and die cut these out for your card. And then these are colored with blends, and then these are your sentiments. Okay, so I'm going to put this out of the side. So something I just wanted to share, so when you're making these cards, you have something to refer to when you're making your class to go. I hope that helps. I just want to move this all the way, and now we'll get started. Just a little tip for you guys. Okay, so first card is this one right here that I used mainly just the scallop blossoms. And I've already cut out my parts and pieces, but in your kit you will receive a piece of thick basic white for your card base that is cut and scored for you, a piece of basic white to die cut your half of circle, the piece of DSP, and now this, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell in the camera, maybe. This is, oh yeah, a little bit. This is Specialty in color paper. This is the Peaceful Pine. It's a pearlized paper. It's really pretty. We're going to use that for the leaves, a piece of Crisp Cantaloupe for your flowers, and then for contrast, I'm using just the Crisp Cantaloupe cardstock for the circles. And that is everything that will be in your kit for your first card. Okay, I'll move this out of the way. I need this though. I don't need this. Okay, first things first, we're going to fold and burnish our card base. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this over. I have a hard time sometimes with the thicker paper getting it to go flat the first time, but when I do both sides, then it works. Okay, I'm going to take my DSP and I'm going to add some seal to that. And this is going to go at the bottom of our card base. And I'm just going to leave even margins on the left, right, and the bottom. Okay, then I'm going to take my thank you sentiment with the Peaceful Pine ink, and I'm going to ink this up, and we're going to go in the top right corner and stamp our sentiment. Thank you. This is such a pretty font. I just really love it. It's so pretty and dainty. Okay, and then I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to cut it in half. So first you die cut it, and then you will cut it in half. If you like, when you're die cutting it, you can just put half of the die on your paper. But this way, then you have, you can make two. Oh, yeah, these colors, Lori, are just fabulous. So I'm just taking, I'm not going to fold it all the way, but I'm just going to make, just so I kind of can see that this right here is where the middle is. And I'm just going to line that up on my trimmer. And I'm going to start it in the middle. Well, not the middle, but not on the end, so I don't crunch it up. And now we have two halves. And now I'm going to add this with dimensionals. to my card base. Okay, I don't know, my favorite color would have to be Crisp Cantaloupe and Hydrangea Hue. But it's hard because I really do love them all. And I'm not just saying that. I really do, because it's not very often where a set of colors comes out and I like them all. And I really do truly like them all. And I've used Golden Glow quite a bit, but I can't wait to use it for fall. It's going to be so great. Okay, so I'm just going to go, it's not, maybe just a little bit above the DSP. Not too much though. We're going to put that there. Then we're going to take our blossoms, and now I am going to add dimensionals to the back of our little centers for our flowers. Just like that. And I love that these center dies and the leaf dies, like the center, they're connected, so you get 2 of the centers when you're die cutting, and all the leaves die cut in one fell swoop. That's really nice. I like that. Okay, we'll just put those in the center. Just like that. Then I'm going to flip these over, and I believe I did put... Yes, I did put dimensionals on these. It's been a while since I made these. Okay, so I know that I want this like right here, but I think I'm just going to put the dimensionals right in the center, you guys. It's right in the center. I have so much paper, so I have not bought any of them, but I sure like them all. Yeah, I really think that, Peggy, you would really like this set of colors. Okay, so we're going to peel these off, and like what Peggy said, she has so many papers. What's nice, okay, so I'm going to take this flower and I'm going to go to the edge of my card, just like that, and I'm going to go on the other side and do the same, and you're just basically looking to make sure that you know, you're not covering up your sentiment, and then I'm going to place this one right in the center. Okay, next are our leaves, and we are going to use liquid glue for that, but like what Peggy was saying, she has a lot of paper, she doesn't have the new ones. I think what would be a good way to do that, to try these papers, would be to make a purchase for, you know, maybe you want the stamp set or the dies, and then this way when you purchase the class from me, you get to play with the paper, because pretty much this set has almost all of the colors, except for I didn't use much Golden Glow, but otherwise you get to see what the papers are, you get to use them, you get to play with them. It's a good way to try that out. Okay, so the first set of leaves I put up here, and then I'm going to take, and I'm just putting glue on the bottom of the leaves, and I'm just putting them underneath the flowers, just like so. Okay. Oh, my glue stopped. And we're just, like I said, we're just tucking these under. Like that. And then these are going to go up on the other side. This is such a, I think, such, it's not, I'm not going to say it's a simple card, but it goes together quite easily, and it really, I think, is very pretty. You just want to make sure that we're not going off the edge of the card. Okay, and then for the centers, I used the embellishments, the Dreamy Flower embellishments for the centers, and I used the little, the little white ones, the little tiny white ones for the centers. I just thought that was so perfect. And like that. And what's nice, these you can just pick right up with your fingers. And there is card number 1. What do you guys think of this one? Oh, Lori, I always get the DSP that features the new ink colors because it helps me see. Yes, that's a great way also, is to get the DSP. Like the painted patterns. The 12 by 12 paper is really pretty. Okay. So, card number 2. Oh, thanks, Debbie. This is card number 2. This is showing the hydrangea hue. I suppose I should get the little kit out, huh? Okay, so in the number 2 card kit. Oh, I forgot to mention that in your first card kit will be a half a sheet of 8.5 by 5.5 basic weight for your stamping guideline. That will be in your first card envelope. Okay, you will receive a piece of hydrangea hue that is cut and scored for you for your card base. You'll receive a piece of basic white for the inside of your card, another piece of hydrangea hue, and the DSP to coordinate for your matte stack. Oh, did I forget to cut my big piece of DSP? Oh boy, I wonder if I have it in another kit here that I cut. Nope, I just totally missed that. Okay, well, that's good because then I will cut one. You'll receive this piece of hydrangea hue to cut your sentiment label. And then I did in here put a piece of basic white for your sentiment, but it is on your pre-stamping guideline. So just in case the pre-stamping guideline didn't turn out, I thought you should have another piece just in case. And then these are from your pre-stamping guideline, the flowers and the leaves, and I have already stamped and die cut those. I just need to color those. And then you'll receive the hydrangea hue ribbon, but I need to cut a piece of the DSP. And the DSP, you guys, is so pretty. I love this paper, and like I said, it has these little gold accents in it that are so, so pretty. It really is gorgeous. Okay, so this will be the whole side, front, you know, it's the size of the whole front of your card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. And it's non-directional, so you don't have to worry about that when you're cutting it, which you won't have to cut when you get the, because it will be in your kit. I promise. Oh, thanks, Peggy. Thanks, Lori. Okay, so first things first. I am going to move this out of the way. We are going to fold and burnish our card base. Just like that. And we're going to flip our DSP over. Oh, and I really like Peaceful Pine too, and I love the design. What they would consider the B side of this paper, I think, is just as awesome as the front side, the A side. Okay, so this is going to cover my whole front. So I just start at the bottom and I line that up and I have it sort of curved in my fingers. And then I just let it lay down like that. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of, which this is not cut to the right. What was I doing when I was cutting these, huh? Okay, let's cut another piece. Yeah, I don't quite know what I was doing there. Okay. Then this piece is also 5.5 in length. This is the other side of this paper. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. And this is 1 3/8, so then we're going to go 1 1/4. I believe. Yep. I must have cut that other one at 1. I bet you that's what I did, not 1 1/4. I tell you, if my head wasn't screwed on some days. By 5.5. And we are going to flip that over and put a seal on it. And then we are going to line this up, and I'm going right to the edge. And because it's a longer strip, I do the same thing I do when I am covering my whole card front. And then you're going to leave that little bit on each side. And then I'm just going to make sure that goes all the way down. And then before I attach it to my card front, I am going to put seal on each side, and I am going to put my ribbon around that before I attach it to the card. And I'm just going in the center, just like that. And then I'm just going to turn that around. I'm going to trim the excess off. I'm going to add some more seal to the back. And I do try to go over the ribbon with my seal if I can. Okay. And then this is going, it's a little bit in the center, but I try never to just center everything. So let's see, about right here. Okay. Now, for your sentiment, when I did this on my pre-stamping guideline, I stamped it in the hydrangea hue, and I just used the die cut that goes with it. But we are going to, and like I said, I have that piece of paper in your kit, so it's up to you whichever way you would like to do that. But I'm just going to trim this to fit on this right here. So to do that, I just measure it, and this is 2 1/4 by 2. Okay, so I know that we want the scallop to come off, so I will, you know, cut this first. And I'm just putting it at 1 3/4, I believe. Yeah. Okay. And then if you want, you could save this little piece to put on another, you know, behind another card. It's nice to have those little scallops on there. And then I'm just going to, and like I said, this is 2 1/4. See how that's 2 1/4? So I'm just going to go on this side. I'm going to take a little bit off of each side. So what I do is I go to 2 1/4, and then I just go over. Let's see, I'm going to just go a little bit off of each side so that it's even-ish. Okay, so a little bit there. And I cut it crooked, but that's alright. And a little bit there. Okay, so then now we have our sentiment for our label. Just like that. I love the dies that you can do that. Have that little scallop on the bottom. It's so, so cute. Okay. Now we are going to add seal to the sentiment, which is happy birthday. And put this on our sentiment label. Just like that. And now I am going to add dimensionals to this. I'm just going to go, I'm not going to put any in the middle because of the ribbon. Just going to go top and bottom. I'm peel these off. And this is going to go right here like this. Okay, so now I pre-cut these before I colored them, but we are going to use blends to color these. You can use the stamp that coordinates with it and stamp them on if you do not enjoy coloring. I don't know, excuse me, I have to readjust my chair. That's falling off. We don't want to fall in the craft room, do we, Peggy? Okay, so now I'm going to start with my Golden Glow, and I'm just going to start with some dark, and I'm just going to do like a little dot, 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 couple dots, just like that with the dark. Then I'm going to go in with the light, and I'm just going to kind of do like a little flicking motion. You do not have to get it the whole thing, but, and then these little circles I'm just going to color in, going over the dark and then over the light. Okay, then I'm going to go with Hydrangea Hue for my flowers, and I'm going to start with the dark, and I'm just going to, doing a flicking motion, just like that. And then the light. I'm going to use the brush end, and I'm just going to go in a circle just to smooth that out. I like to, I'm leaving a little bit of white intentionally. Just kind of adds a little bit more, I think, to the colored image. I'm just coloring that in. So I have those done. Now I'm going to take my dark and make some darker spots on my flowers. And I'm just kind of mimicking where they have the thicker lines in the art. Just like that. Flick, 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 flick. I like the feathering look that gives to that when you do the flicking motion. See, Peggy, no we don't. Yes, ask Peggy how she knows. Okay, so I am going to go just a little bit of flicking with the light, and then I'm going to go in and just color. Just like that. I love coloring with blends. They just make these blends just make it so easy. It makes me look like an artist, I think. Alright, and we have that. Now we're going to go with our Peaceful Pine, and on one of the leaves I'm going to go dark at the top like this, and then I'm going to go on this, like right here, and do the dark here. And then I'm going to go the dark down here. And then I'm going to go with the light just to kind of make it a little different. And then I'm just going to go with the light and go all over the whole thing. It kind of gives it a different type of look. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one, except for I'm going to go like this and like that, and I'm gonna go like this and like this, and then again I'm just gonna go a little bit over here, and we're just gonna color it. I like to go in a circular motion when I'm just coloring with these, because then you don't get any distinct lines or marks. Okay, so I'm going to put these away, or I will lose them in the midst of my piles that I make while I do a live. It's just crazy, the aftermath after my lives. Huh. Alright, got these put away, this, and then I'm going to use my bow maker for my ribbon because I wanted a double bow. And I think I misused my pieces that I had cut in the kit, so I'm just going to grab another piece. Now this is up to you whether you would like to do a bow or not. Peggy, are you watching? Did you see how I did that? So this is with my 2 nails. I'm not sure, Peggy, if you looked up a video, but you just take your ribbon and go to the back. And now if you were just doing a single bow, you would just tie it like you tie a bow. But because I'm doing a double, I'm wrapping it around, and then I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going under my fingers here, and then I'm wrapping it over like that. And then before I tie it, I'm just looking it to make sure to see if that I have it straight. Oh, you did watch several. Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. And then I'm just going to take it and loop it through, maybe, and make sure again, like I said, that it's straight so that my knot's not way over on one side or the other. And then I just tighten it just like that. This is a pretty basic bow maker. I purchased it from a demonstrator. She's from Wisconsin. Christine Bertram, I think her name is. Okay. And then I just am separating out the loops here, because like I said, I did do a double bow. There's many ways to make a double bow. I know some people use a fork. Some people use their fingers. I have tried it with my fingers. I'm not very good at that way, but I have done it. It does work. Okay, so now we are going to take a glue dot and we are going to put the knot on the dot, trying not to touch the adhesive so much so that it stays sticky stuck on our card. And I am just placing this right over the top of the other ribbon. And then I'm just going to trim these off at a slant. And there we have our bow. Okay. Now I am going to flip my flowers over and my leaves. And I am going to put the dimensionals toward the top of my flower so it doesn't interfere, because this is popped up. And I don't want to have to double dimensional everything. And then one of the flowers, I think I'll go, the little one, the one that goes here, we can go a full one. This other one, we are just going to go up on one side of the flower, like that. And then I'm just going to peel these off. And I'm going to put this one, I'm going to take one of these leaves and set it here so I kind of know where I'm going to place it. And it's going to go about right there. Then I'm going to grab my liquid glue and put just a little bit at the bottom. And we're just going to sneak that right underneath. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with the other leaf. And we're going to go on the other side, and we're going to go over here. And I just kind of bend them up a little bit. Peel the backings off of our tiny little flowers. And one is going to go right about here. And one is going to go over there. And then for embellishments, I decided to use the Golden Glow butterflies. The reason why I chose the Golden Glow is because of the little gold dots that are in the paper, and then to bring out the gold centers of my flowers. And we are going to put a big butterfly right here, and then we're going to put another big one down here, and we're going to put an itty bitty one right here. And there is card number 2. What do you guys think of card number 2? I love the color of this card. Yeah, this hydrangea hue is such a gorgeous color. I just absolutely love it. It's so, so pretty. Okay, I'm going to take a little sip of my cold coffee because it looks like my heater turned off. Must have just turned off, it's not cold yet. Okay. Next, we're going to make this card right here. Card number 3. I think that I'm doing them in order. I hope I'm doing them in order. If not, that's the way it is, right? Okay, card number 3, Peaceful Pine cardstock. Except for, did I? That doesn't matter. And then you'll receive a piece of, now this DSP that's in this set, I'm not a big green person, but for some, oh, thanks, Debbie. Yeah, I really like it too. I love this design, this designer series paper. The centers of the flower have the crisp cantaloupe in it. I don't know what it is about this paper that I mean, the other side is just as gorgeous. Then you're going to have another piece of Peaceful Pine DSP. This is for the inside of your card. This is to die cut a scallop for the inside of your card. You'll have the ribbon for your faux bow. And then this is from your pre-stamping guideline, as well as these pieces. And then this right here is for the front. This is what we're going to die cut to make a frame for the card, and this is going to go behind it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to die cut the frame. So I'm just going to set this stuff aside so that I can pull in my big boss, the big boss. Okay, I'm going to grab my dies. Okay, so for this one, you will need to use, where's my card? I think it was this one. Yep. So if you have them, it would be the 1 to the 3rd from the largest, and then the 4th one to make our frame. And then I'm just going to take a piece of Post-it tape and I am just going to line these up. There's no real, I just eyeball everything. You guys know that by now, right? And I'm just going to put that on there so that they don't shimmy around while I run this through. So this is how you make the frame for the front. Just like that. Okay. And then you need to die cut. I thought let's do something different. This is the inside. It's not, I changed my mind on this card. It's a long story. Debbie knows the story. Oh, it was quite a day, I tell you, when I was designing this card. So this one, I believe, is that same one that we used, that 3rd largest. Yes. This is going to be for the inside. I just thought it'd be nice to do something a little bit different for the inside of the card. And you could definitely just use a piece of basic white on the inside or put a panel on the back. I just thought it'd be nice to just write a little short, sweet sentiment to somebody. Just kind of adds, and it kind of makes it look like a peekaboo card. That's not a peekaboo card. Okay, so then we have that. And I am going to move these. And then obviously you could save this for another card. And I'm just going to put these back on here so I do not misplace them. Okay, let's move this big guy out of the way. All right. Let's get started. You love that paper too? Yeah, so do I. Okay, Lori, see you in a little bit. Okay, so we are going to take our card base and we are going to fold and burnish it. like that. Then we're going to take our floral piece of DSP and add seal. Okay, and this one is even margins all the way around. Like that. Then we're going to take our frame. You could definitely, because this is pretty like straight, you could use this for another card. Yeah, and use them as like another frame for something else. Okay, so I'm going to take this, okay, and obviously this is bigger than what we need, so I will trim this down because that is going to go on the front. It's going to make it look like a peekaboo card, a full peekaboo card, because this is going to go on the inside. Just like this. So you have your squiggly line and your floral piece for the front and the inside. And I just I like the pieces to go like the little scallops at the bottom. Kind of looks like waves. Okay, so there we have the front and the back. Now, because what you could do is you could cut the scallop out of this, and you know what, I'm going to try that and see if that works. So I'm just going to cut this real quick. I'm just going to come right over here. I think you can still see me, and I am just going to run this through and see if this would work easier than just trying to trim that down to the correct size. And I think this might, as long as you guys have the dies if you're doing the class, so if you purchased it. Okay. Yeah, this is a heck of a lot easier than the way I did it originally. You know, it takes me a few times to get it how it should be. So you definitely want to take your piece of DSP, use that third largest frame, and cut that as well. And now I'm just taking a little liquid glue and just running it around like so. And then instead of moving this, you want to like line this piece up because you don't want your squiggles to go the wrong way. So I'm just going to adjust the frame. Okay. And there we go. And then I am going to turn this over and add seal to it. You could use your liquid glue. And this is going to go right here like this, making sure that my lines on the inside are the same way as my lines on the outside. That's how you get that faux peekaboo look. See? Doo, doo. Okay, before I forget, I'm going to put this on the inside of my card. Okay, and this I'm just putting in inside. And then I'm going to do my faux bow next. And that I'm just going to add some seal right like that. Maybe. Well, what the heck? This is not cooperating. I'm getting it on my finger, but not on my seal. I think I'm pushing too hard. Maybe. Wow. Okay, so I have my little piece of adhesive. I'm going to take my ribbon and we're going to make a faux bow. Just like that. I definitely have a big enough piece here. And then I usually like to trim it after I get my sentiment on. And we're going to trim the edge of this off. And let's see, I like right about, and I'm going to line it up with my DSP. And then what I do is I take your pick tool that has my little scoring because I'm a lazy crafter, I don't measure and do whatever. I'm just going to make a little line there with my scoring tool, because then I know that this right here is my cut line. I don't know if you can see that. Like that. That's my little trick, because then I know exactly how much to cut off. Okay, and I got a nice straight edge. And I am going to put dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm going to go on the left and the right and leave room for my faux bow. Okay. And we are just going to line that up right to the edge of the DSP, not the card base. Just going to kind of wiggle my ribbon a little bit here. Now I'm going to trim off the edges like that, and I usually cut them at a slant. Okay, now this is the card that I demonstrated making the flowers at the beginning of the video. And again, let's see, let's flip these over, and we're going to put dimensionals on the whole, pretty much the whole thing. Except for I'm going to leave space. I'm just going to put one here top and bottom so that I can leave space to tuck my other, I was going to say doodads, my other doodads in there. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to kind of put the rose at a slight angle, and then I am going to use mini dimensionals to put on the little buds. These are the little buds. And then I'm going to put the minis on the leaves as well. As long as I have them out, I'm going to tear these off of here. And then I'm just tucking this right under. And I kind of want it like it's going up it's kind of like a wreath, like you're decorating a wreath. If you've ever made a wreath before, it's kind of like that. And then we're going to tuck this here like that. And then I use the shimmer, the InColor shimmer pens, to add a little bit of dark on just a little bit of, oh, and two, I just did it. When you shake these, shake it with the cap on. No squiggles going wrong. No, we don't want squiggles going the wrong way, do we, Becky? Okay, and I'm just going over the vein of the leaf with just a little bit of the shimmer, just to add a little something, a little bit of sparkle. And then I'm going to take the crisp cantaloupe, and if you guys don't have these shimmer pens, you definitely need them. And then I'm just going to go and put a little bit where I think that the rose would look a little bit darker. So in the center, and then I'm going to go a little bit here, and just a couple on the lines, just to give it a little bit of depth. And same on the buds. Oh, I know what I did. I'm taking my green pen and going over where it's crisp cantaloupe, where it should be green. Okay. Now all that's left to do is to put our cute little crisp cantaloupe butterflies on there. And we are going to do a big one up here, an itty bitty here, and another big one right here. And there's card number 3. What do you guys think of this one? I really like it. So when you have it, see, like this, you'd think, oh, and then you see, oh, look at the inside. See? I think that was kind of unique. Okay, last but not least, our shaped card. Card number 4. Moving right along. If I can find my card kit, we sure can keep moving. Okay, am I staring right at? Oh, it's over here. Thanks, Peggy. Thanks, Debbie. Okay, card number 4. You will have a piece of Barely Blush that will be cut and scored for you. A piece of Basic White for the inside scallop. A piece of DSP for your layered scallop on the front. Crisp Cantaloupe, Barely Blush for our flowers. You'll receive a piece. This is the Golden Glow. I said I didn't use much Golden Glow. I used a piece of the Golden Glow DSP for the small flower. And then you'll receive more of that pearlized in Peaceful Pine paper to die cut your leaf images. And then this I die cut with one of the sentiment labels from the Scallop Blossoms, and this was on the pre-stamping guide. Okay, so I will show how I made this card. So you're going to take your card base and you're going to fold it. I'm not going to really burnish it because otherwise when it goes through that emboss machine it really gets it mooshed down. Okay, so for this one we are not using the biggest. We are using the second. No, we are using the biggest. Don't listen to me. We're using the largest one. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put that over your card base just like that, and now I'm leaving it off at the where the fold is. You don't want to put your die like it's because you don't want to cut that part, and you're going to put this right towards the end of your cardstock, and then I am going to put 2 pieces because this is well loved Post-it tape, you guys. Okay, and let's bring our big buddy in here, our big boss, and you're going to keep it folded and you're going to run it through just like that. And that's how you make a shaped card with one of your dies. Just want to make sure that you don't put the die over the fold. You want it to loop, you know, to lay over the top. So then I'm just going to very carefully remove my paper mat. Even though it's well loved, when it goes through the machine like that, it really pushes it into the paper. So I'm just carefully removing it. It's probably best that you don't use a brand new piece because it might leave a lot of residue on the card when it goes through the machine. Okay, just gonna take this off here. Put this on my magnet sheet and get this out of the way. Okay, and here we have our card. Isn't that cool? Kind of reminds me of like a seashell. Okay, and then with this piece of DSP right here, you're going to cut out the second largest scallop, and that is going to go right like that. I have already trimmed this off, and it's okay if you go, I'm going to move it up just a little bit. I can always take my scissors and snip that off, because if you don't trim it and you leave it, it won't fit in the envelope. Ask me how I know. Okay, let's see, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take my snips, my scissors, and I'm just going to trim this off. You could use your paper trimmer, but there's not really, I didn't have that much to trim off. Okay. And now this is the piece where you die cut the inside, and you really, with Bearly Blush, you really don't need to, but if you'd like to have a white on the inside, you would pick one of your scallops and use this for the inside. But it's Bearly Blush, it's pretty easy. Sorry you guys, I keep slipping off my chair. I don't know what my deal is. Okay. I'm going to just get these out of the way so I know what I'm doing. Okay. We are going to flip these over so we can add dimensionals to them. And I want a little for this one. And we want bigs for these. I'm just going in the middle. One in the middle. You don't need a ton of them. Okay. And now I am just going to take my sentiment label, the Have a Good Day, and I'm just going to set that there. And I know I want it to go right about here. So I'm going to just, this way I kind of know where to place it. Doesn't have to be exact, but this gives you kind of an idea of how you want to place your flowers. Okay, I'm going to just kind of take that out. Put this here. So you're basically making a triangle with your flowers. You notice that almost everything is a triangle. Okay, so I'm going to use a couple minis on this, and I'm not going to go all the way to the end. I'm just going to put one here and one in the middle so that I can tuck underneath my little tiny flower like that. And let's see, go like that. And then now I die cut the big leaf, the smaller 3 leaf, and then I die cut 2 of these leaves, the detailed leaves, with that pearlized paper. And then I'm just going to use liquid glue, and I'm just going to go to, you know, on the bottoms. I never go all the way to the top. Oh geez, I have a dimensional stuck on my glue. Now if I wanted it to be there, it would never go right. Okay, so we're going to take a little, and we're just doing little dots. And then we're just going to tuck this under, and this is another reason why I don't use as many dimensionals, because then I can really get that in there and I don't have to worry. It will still stick down. I'm going to do the same on this one at the bottom. This one I'm going to tuck towards the bottom here. Like I said, everything's kind of a triangle. So I'm just going to place it like so. And then these will do the same. I'm going to take some glue on this one, and I'm going to take some glue on this one. And we are going to tuck these here. One here, and one here. Just like that. There's your other triangle. And that's when you're trying to decide how to place your focal image. And especially if I have multiple flowers and multiple leaves, I just envision the triangle. Okay, so then we have that, and then I did use those shimmer brushes again. I used Bearly Blush, Golden Glow, and Crisp Cantaloupe to, when you cut these, it's a detailed die, so there's these little lines that cut, and I'm just lightly going over the little lines. And then this one I did color that top, but after I did that I didn't really care for it. So I'm just gonna, again, I'm just lightly going over those lines. Just like that. Just giving it that dimension that it needs so it's not so flat. And you could just color the whole center. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the Barely blush. And this is how you get, there's a little silicone thing that says push, and then you can see it's just like Wink of Stella. Okay, and like I said, I'm just tracing the lines that are detailed in the die cut. This gives it that little extra. This is such a pretty card. Okay, we have that, and then I did use two different types of embellishments on this card. I used the butterflies and I used the in color dots. Now the in color dots, I just used one, and I used it for the center of the Golden Glow flower, and I just used one of the little ones and put it right in the center. And then I'm going to use the Hydrangea Hue to go with the sentiment, and I'm going to put a big one up here. Whoops. Oh, the glue didn't go with it. Maybe if I would be picking them up like I should be with my Take Your Pick tool, it wouldn't do that. Okay, let's see if we can get that glue on the back. Yep. So one here. And then we're going to take another big one, and we're going to go right here, and we're going to take this itty bitty one and put it right next to that big one up there. And there you have it. There's card number 4. Oh, thanks, Lori. Yeah, I think it's fun too. It's a lot of fun. So let's pull all the cards together here that we did today. I think I still have them. I just kind of throw things. I don't know why, but I do. And we have these, and we have these. Which one's your favorite? I know, it's like picking your favorite child. I know. I don't know which one my favorite is. I kind of like them all. I really like this one because I like the DSP, but I also like this one because it's just all the dies. The scallop dies. So, Debbie, I love all the cards, but the second one is my favorite. This one right here. Yeah, that one is really, really pretty. I like the contrast of the DSP with the more solid color DSP with the white with the blue. I think that's really pretty. And I like that style of card. Lori, you love the shaped card? Yeah, I do too. It's really a lot of fun. Okay, you guys, well, thank you so much for joining me today for my Bloom Boutique Suite Class to Go. You have through Sunday to place your order with me, $50 or more in my online store. I have all of the details on this video. I would really appreciate it if you would like or share this video. That really does help me out a lot. Okay, so that is it. You guys have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.